In Search of Knowledge, Past, Present, and Future is a series of unique programs that are designed to show our history as a living history rather than just a list of names and facts about people in the past. It is a Black history lesson, a vocational tool to interest people in various occupations, and a mini museum containing books, artifacts, and photos of notable Blacks, bringing an original art exhibit directly to the classroom. John Green is a man who has beaten the odds. Despite problems with the law in his youth, he turned his life around by learning to play Scrabble. Mr. Green now coaches children to compete in Scrabble tournaments. He has proven that despite your beginnings, you can change your life if you're willing to do the work. Mr. Green?
Yes.
Welcome to In Search of Knowledge.
Thank you.
Mr. Green, we met literally at a gas station because we were both filling up. We were both heading to Massachusetts. But why were you going to Massachusetts?
I was going taking 3 teams from Philadelphia to the Scrabble Nationals finals.
And how many students was that?
12.
Now, Mr. Green.
22.
22?
22.
22. Don't want to leave anybody out?
Right.
When did you learn to play Scrabble?
Well, I learned to play Scrabble when I was incarcerated.
Why did you learn?
Because it took the time and it made you not think about certain things in life.
So why do you like Scrabble?
Because I always was like an English major in school. Reading was my favorite subject. Spelling was my favorite. So I always was interested in words.
Okay. So do you compete in Scrabble tournaments?
Not as much as I used to before I started dealing with the kids. I used to compete in tournaments all over the United States.
So how long did it take you from learning to play Scrabble to start competing?
Maybe about 10 years.
I'm baffled. I play Scrabble with a dictionary, so anybody that can play it the right way, I bow down to. But there's something about Scrabble that, from what I was reading about you, captivated you. I understand that you had time to think while you were in prison, but what made you stick to it? There were so many other things you could have been doing.
Scrabble is such a, I get like my mind works, I get enjoyment out of it.
Okay.
And then like a video game where you pushing buttons and you're not doing the thinking for yourself. And it's a one-on-one competition, so you don't have to depend on nobody else to help you get to where you need to be.
So how do you prepare for a Scrabble game, and just in general?
I study. We have study sheets,
Okay.
Word books, all those type of things.
Okay. So what was the biggest lesson you've learned? Because from what I understand, you were incarcerated for a number of years, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
How long were you incarcerated?
24 years.
How long did you serve?
24 years.
So you did, as you said, you did the whole 9 of it. So what was the biggest lesson that Scrabble taught you in life?
In life, it taught me that I could be my own person. I could want to find out an answer about something and don't have to go outside of myself to get to the answer.
Okay. So you use the internet a lot then?
Yes.
All right. How do you pass that lesson? Because you said that it takes you outside of yourself. It helps you to broaden your horizons. How do you pass that lesson on to your students?
Well, most of my students, when they come to my Scrabble club, a lot of them don't even know how to play Scrabble. Some of them never heard of Scrabble. And when I institute it into their world, because their world is different from mine, I tell them it's still a game. We're going to have fun, but we're going to learn also. It's going to help you with your regular schooling and have fun also.
Okay. So what has been your greatest joy in teaching Scrabble to students?
Oh man, to see the smile on their faces at tournaments, when they win a prize, when the team just be able to go from their normal place to somewhere else and interact with other students, it's so awesome.
Okay. So how many students are how many schools do you have a Scrabble club in?
At this point, I have one school, Hal Middle School.
Okay. And how many students are enrolled in the club?
At any given time, it's anywhere from 12 to 18 students weekly.
Okay. And they come faithfully?
And they come faithfully.
All right. So why was it so important for you to have students compete in a national tournament? Because you were excited. When I saw you at the gas station, you were just about jumping up and down. Why is it so important for you to have them compete in a national?
Well, because I wanted them to get out and see, like, outside of Philadelphia and go somewhere and be able to compete against other children from different parts of the world. It's just a good feeling. Like, my first tournament that was out of Philly when I first came home was like, wow, all these people from all different walks of life, and you get to be able to participate in the activity with them.
And that's one of the things that we need to do for our children, is broaden their horizons. I'm still amazed at how many people don't even get outside their neighborhood. So when you've got a club going and you're saying, we're going to take you elsewhere, what was the students' response?
Oh my God, they couldn't believe it. Every time they see me, they ask me, Mr. Green, when is the tournament? How long will it stay? Because we actually got funding to actually take them to stay in hotels, and a few of their parents with us. Okay. So it was awesome. It was unbelievable. It was like going to Disney World.
For them.
For them, it was like going to Disney World.
Okay. So now this is another question. You've got the kids, you've got the 18 kids in a classroom after school. I know I've done an after school program, and I know sometimes they don't come in the room with the best of attitudes. So how do you challenge your kids to be able to play Scrabble after they spend a whole day working on their other work?
Okay, first of all, Mr. Green is a great Scrabble coach. So therefore, I let the kids know when Scrabble Club first starts that this is about Scrabble. Your school stuff, your arguments in school, whatever you did before you came in Mr. Green's Scrabble Club, this is about Scrabble. I'm going to take you places you've never been before. Just come in here with Scrabble.
Just increasing their vocabulary is going to broaden their horizons tremendously, because so many kids don't even know anything beyond the vocabulary words that they're normally given. So do you give them assignments of vocabulary words?
Oh yes, we have spelling tests. Oh, we play games outside of Scrabble that's dealing with words. So I might give them a Scrabble test on just Scrabble words.
Okay.
And give them a prize for the winner. You know, or we may play Scrabble Hangman. So I do, and we have a card game called Scrabble Slam, what I institute into my Scrabble program.
So how do you prepare them for the competition at a national level? What did you do to have to do
Okay,
that?
some of my team actually play, excuse me, with clocks. See, at the national,
like chess?
Yes.
Okay.
So some of my teams played with clock and some didn't. At the nationals, you had some team play with clocks and some didn't.
And clocks mean that you have a limited time to come up with a word.
Right.
Okay.
25 minutes.
25 minutes for each word?
No, 25 minutes per team.
Per team for the game?
For the whole game.
Wow. So do you practice that here?
Yes, we have a clock in our room, and we definitely practice with the clock.
So what's your highest level of education?
I graduated from the 12th grade.
Okay. And have you attended college?
No, I haven't.
Are you going to?
No, I'm not.
Okay. That's important for kids to know, that you can be successful even if you don't attend college, but your education never stops.
Right. Never. You never stop learning.
So what do you do to keep your learning skills up?
I still read, and I do Scrabble. This is my Scrabble club program here, but I'm all over the Philadelphia overseeing other Scrabble clubs that we have started.
And how many clubs have you started?
Personally, over 30.
Wow.
In the city of Philadelphia.
How many of those still exist?
All 30.
Wow. And how long has it been since you started them?
I started with ASAP 7 years ago. So we've been
7 years you've been going strong.
Yes.
One of the things that I try to talk to my guests about, because I think it's important for youth to understand, is the ability to get along with others. Now, I know you said it's a one-on-one tournament, but they're also working as teams. So what's the lesson that you try to impart to them about being able to get along with others?
Oh, my tournaments is one-on-one. The kids play with partners.
Okay.
So, first of all, you have to find somebody that you're compatible with from the door. I want you to be compatible with your partner coming into the club, so that therefore that can knock the rough edges off of what's going to happen when this is a bossy person, and this is and you know how I get. So once I let them know, once I find out who their teammate is, then they have to work together as a team.
And how do you get the other teams to interact with each other?
Other teams outside of?
No. In other words, you've got people paired in your club.
Right.
So now you've got a group of 18 kids in the
Right.
room. How do you make sure that they all get along with each other?
Mr. Green don't take no stuff from the Scrabble Club. And you have to, because this is about Scrabble once you come through that door.
And it's important that kids understand, and parents, that discipline is an important part of your child's life. And so you're saying, I don't take no stuff. Once they cross that door, they know. That's how this is going to be run.
And that's how it's going to be run. Yes, ma'am.
So now, Mr. Green, do you belong to any organizations?
I belong to so many organizations.
Give me a few.
Okay, I'm a member of ASAP,
Which is?
After School Activities Partnership.
Okay.
I'm a member of Community Power,
Okay.
which is Miss Cynthia Simpkins' program at the Juvenile Justice Center. I'm a member of Narcotics Anonymous, which is a worldwide program helping people stay clean and off of drugs.
Okay.
And I'm a member of, I can't remember.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
fine. That's fine. Mr. Green, did you have any mentors, especially when you were in prison? Did you have any mentors?
In prison, I had a couple of old heads that was like always telling me right from wrong. Like an old head was a lifer, and he was like, "Man, you too smart to be doing this." But at that younger age, I didn't want to hear what he was saying. I should have listened, but I didn't. So, but out here in society, Matthew Hopkins is one of my favorite mentors I ever had in my life.
And what's the importance of you having a mentor at this stage of your life?
Because it helps keep me grounded still. At 55 years old, I still need to be grounded, and I still need to have people to talk to help me, because at any age you can come through situations that you won't get out of with your own mind, and you need another aspect.
And so even though you're Mr. Green drawing the line here, you have people you have to answer to.
Right.
And what do they do to help you stay online?
They keep me focused. They keep me aware of what's going on in society, in the programs that I'm dealing with, in every aspect of life.
And I think that, again, I try to emphasize this over and over to our kids, that learning is a lifetime occupation. And you're going to have to continue learning even after you get out of school. You've got to keep learning if you're going to be successful.
Right. And my sponsor, I also have a sponsor, and my sponsor is the one-on-one person that if I go through anything, whether it's hurting, emotional, that's the one person that I can talk to about it and get feedback from him.
And again, that's something that kids think, oh, you're grown up, you don't have any problems.
Little do they know. Little do they know.
But it's important that they can hear it from adults, that you still have a way of getting through it. And for you, it's dealing with your mentors and your sponsors. So, one of the things that I've learned that Scrabble does is help children with math. How does it help them with math?
Well, the way the board is set up, it has places where the square tells you what you have to do. So they have double letter score,
Okay.
triple word score, double word score. So if your word crosses the line where one of those
are
at,
spaces.
then you have to add your, so say quit. Quit is Q-U-I-T. The Q is 10, U-I-T all one. But if you go on a double word score, you have to double the word. So the word is 13, it becomes 26.
Okay.
If you put the Q on a triple letter score, the Q is 30, and then you add the 3, so that's 33 points.
And so they have to learn how to do that very quickly.
Right.
So, Mr. Green, one of the things that I've noticed is that you've got parents supporting you.
Yes.
How important is family to you?
Family is very important to me.
Do you have children?
No, I have no children.
Okay.
But I have great nieces, like a million of them.
Okay. So family is important, and you also make sure that the kids know that that's important too.
Yes.
We've been talking about some of the things, the ability to get along and things of that nature. What other life skills have helped you to be successful?
From Scrabble or just in life?
Just in life.
Being able to really understand another person's actions,
Okay.
motivations, reality, and not reacting on it.
Okay. And that's critical because a lot of times kids will see adults. I mean, that's one of the reasons I don't like reality TV, is because for me, all they're showing is adults at each other as opposed to working together, because I think that's the real reality that we
Right.
need them to see. So what accomplishment are you most proud of?
in my life, 55 years, accomplishment that I'm most proud of. Getting off of drugs.
Okay. And how long have you been clean?
10 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. One of the things that I've learned in dealing with anyone who is in an addiction is that the ability to stay clean is not easy, but once you make up your mind to do it, you can get a lot more support to do that. You mentioned a sponsor. How long have you had the sponsor?
The sponsor I have now has been about 1 year.
Okay.
I mean, I had a sponsor before that for 7 years.
Okay. In this day and age, with so many people going to prison and coming out of prison, how do you connect with parents once they find out your background so that they don't take it as a negative?
Well, one thing, I really don't connect with parents about my past.
Okay.
Because I have all the proper paperwork that allow me to work with the kids. But if a parent ever did, which has never happened, thank God, but if a parent ever did come to me, I would tell them about my life.
Okay.
And let them know what I'm doing now.
And that's important because, as I said in your intro, they make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. As I tell my kids, everybody makes mistakes. It's how you recover from them that makes the difference.
Right.
And so the fact that you've done this, and I take it by the clearances, you have the FBI and all of the regular clearances to allow you to work with children, but even more important, you've established a relationship. So how do you go about establishing a relationship? Suppose I come in your class and I'm a knucklehead and I've been assigned, I got to come do it. What's one of the things that you do to try to turn me around?
Okay, I may have a one-on-one with you.
Okay.
And ask you a few questions like, are you forced to be here or do you want to be here? Do you want to learn more than you already learning? Do you want to have some fun? Do you want to participate in activities that you would never have seen before?
I tell people all the time, our children are brilliant. And if just given a little support, a little time, they can just do so many things. They just need that little support to help them get started.
No question, because it's not a lot in there right now because they're young. So it's like a sponge now, and they can absorb a lot of stuff. And then it's amazing what the kids can do and have done in my Scrabble clubs over the last 7 years.
So I remember you telling me that your kids placed in the national conference.
Right.
How many placed?
Okay, the nationals that we just had, Masterman School came in 18th place.
Okay.
Hal came in 48th.
But your team placed 19 out of how many teams?
Over 200.
Over 200 games.
Yes.
And how did they enjoy just traveling? Did you go by bus?
We all went in separate cars.
Okay.
So no, some of my students were in the car with me and some was with their parents. And so we all went separately. But they had worksheets and Scrabble papers to study while they traveled.
So there's none of that, when are we there? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
Right, exactly.
Well, Miss Jones, why do you like your son being in a club with Mr. Green?
Mr. Green takes a lot of patience with the children. He's in a Scrabble club himself for adults, so I believe that he would have the patience to take the time out with them individually to help them learn what they need to learn, not just be there. And throughout the years, he's helped Sydney tremendously. And I really appreciate what he's done because I see him take a lot of time out with each child, especially when we went away to Massachusetts.
Okay.
It was awesome just to see the bond that he had with each child. They were really excited to show him that they learned how to spell a new word.
Okay.
And he was excited with them. So I think that he has a very awesome personality that connects him with the kids when it comes to Scrabble.
Now, Sydney, I'm a bad speller. I really am. So what advice would you give me to learn a new word?
The advice I would give you is to read a dictionary or play Scrabble, because sometimes they give you Scrabble sheets that have plenty different words on them.
Do you have to know the definition of the words?
Sometimes.
But not always.
Not always.
So what's your favorite word?
My favorite word is crisis.
Spell it.
CHRISIS.
Why is it your favorite word?
Because it explains like a problem, like a crisis.
Okay. Well, Mr. Sidney and Miss Juanita, Miss Tamika, I thank you so much for sharing a few minutes of your time, and I hope that you go far. I know you'll do better than me because I like playing Scrabble with a dictionary, and they tell me that's not allowed, but I'm going to see if I can do better next time. Thank you. Mr. Jashir and your mother, Tamika Lee, welcome to In Search of Knowledge.
Thank you.
Mr. Jones, I understand that you have an interesting twist on doing this Scrabble. First of all, how long have you been playing Scrabble?
With my team, I have been playing for 2 years. By myself, I've been playing for all of my life.
And you're how old?
11.
Okay. You told me that you helped get funding for your school.
Yes.
What was that all about?
Well, I had contacted Officer Steele, a police officer, and she helped raise $500 for my trip to Boston.
And why were you
Scrabble team?
And why were you going to Boston?
Because it was the Scrabble Nationals, and I would keep playing.
Why was it important that you have this money to go to Boston?
Because we needed fundings for some people who couldn't afford it.
And you were going for
Scrabble playing.
the national tournament.
Yes, playing people from all over America and Canada.
How did you do in the contest?
I did good.
Did you place?
Yes.
What place did you
I came
win?
in 48th, I believe.
That deserves a high five. Because if it wasn't for spell check, I'd be in trouble all the time. So what's the best part of playing Scrabble for you?
It teaches you math and helps you with your vocabulary.
And Mom, why do you keep your son in the club?
It helps him learn a lot. Like Ms. Witherspoon, a great teacher. Before the Scrabble thing even started, it was her child since kindergarten. But it helps him spell, and is also good as far as like classwork with his spelling words. It's helping him learn more words. So between a regular class with having spell words, it helps you also when it's time to play Scrabble and you could build your own words.
And how does it help you in math?
Well, you have to keep score in Scrabble. Each letter is worth a certain amount of points, and you have to add up the score to see who won.
You can't just take a calculator and add it up?
No.
You have to know your math facts.
Yes.
All right, because I was going to ask, and I'm going to talk to Mr. Green, I'm going to ask him about science, technology, engineering, art, and math, known as STEAM,
Yes.
because it's something that all of our children need to be involved with. So what's your favorite word? Do you have one?
Hypothesis.
Can you spell it?
Hypothesis.
And it means?
And it means a scientific guess.
All right. Well, Mr. Jasir, I am so happy that you took time out from your busy schedule to come and visit with us at In Search of Knowledge.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Green, I know this is not enough time to really teach me how to play, but we're going to play at least one row of Scrabble. So how do we start?
The first thing you have to do, you have to pick a letter out of the bag to see who goes
I'm
first.
coming for a Q. Okay.
I have an A.
And I have an A.
So guess what? You're first, but you have to put these back in the bag.
Okay.
Shake it up, and now
How many do I take
get
out?
7 letters.
7 letters.
And you place them on your rack,
Okay.
and you spell a word. Now the star is where the game starts at,
Okay.
and the star represents a double word score. So whatever your word is, just double that word.
Okay, I think this is a word, so I'm going to try it. So we're going to start with this, see if I got a word. Is that a real word, Peck?
No.
Okay, no good. Your turn.
A sound a cow makes moo.
Okay,
3, 4, 5 times 2 because of the double makes that 10.
okay.
Now you have to keep writing my score down.
Oh,
But you also have to write my name down.
okay, so I put your name down here or here?
Here, player 1.
Okay, and I'm player 2, and I can see a word. I do have a word this time. Melt.
Right. So now the way they add it up, 3 is on a double letter score, so 4, 5, because whatever number is in there, that's
It's
the
double.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay.
So 10 to 7. Now you have to retrieve how many letters you use out of the bag.
All right.
And you got to always have 7 on your right.
So this is where that math comes in, because you've got to be able to add up your own score, and you've got to be able to add it up pretty quickly.
Right.
So now is it your turn?
Yes. And the object of the game is to try to score the most points without setting your opponent up for something
So
good.
you don't want to give me any ends that I could take something on.
Right.
Okay.
Sometimes you have to, but
The object is to get your own points.
right.
Okay.
So now, in this case, I made hey and O.
And what does that mean? H-A-E.
I don't know.
But it's a word?
Yes.
So what if there's a dispute? How do I know that that's a real word?
We have the official Scrabble dictionary. I'm positive because we also have the official word list
Okay.
that I give my students, the beginner students, to practice with.
Okay.
So now we go in the book and we say, H-A-E, to have.
Okay. So I'm not allowed to use it to create a word, but I can use it to verify my word.
Exactly.
Okay. All right, so now it's my turn.
Yes. And because you are a beginner, we want to give you this.
Oh, thank you so much. I need a little cheat sheet. Okay, so, but I have to be careful. It has to be free enough that I can make another word, correct?
Yep. Or connect to something.
How about that?
Now, if that was one of my students, I would not let them make that play
Why?
because, first of all, you're only going to get the amount of points just for that word.
Okay,
And you set up a double word score both ways because that S can go on scope and make this scope, and they would get double for that whole word and double for the word they made, and then they only got 8 points.
okay. Well, Mr. Green,
Yes.
I would love to continue this, but we really have to end. But I thank you for being our guest on In Search of Knowledge, and I concede the match.
Thank you very much. Awesome. And you lucky I had a 7-letter word.
If we can gather to march 1 million strong, then why can't we gather in small groups to resolve one small problem in our own lives? If we can spend millions of dollars on anything and everything, then why can't we put money aside as individuals or a group to accomplish one small financial goal? If we can put aside our differences and speak to each other without anger or calling each other out of our names, and give love and respect to each other for a few hours while marching, then why can't we come together for a week to work on solving one small problem? When we recognize that we have to begin the most important undertaking in our history of saving ourselves, our children, and our communities, that in order to survive in the 21st century, we have to focus our time and energy on loving ourselves for ourselves, then we are marching more than 1 million strong.
For real?
I
blew everybody. I blew her
Y'all
out.
signed in? Go sit down with your
I
partner.
blew her out. I blew her out too. And I blew Sydney out. It was like
You did?
it was 188 to 130.
Ooh. Go
And then
sit
her
down
was
with your
62.
partner.
No, it wasn't even. I had 188.